Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Rowell. Alright, it is Monday, it is closing day on the house. So here's what the plans are so far today. What I have to do is we're going to start off, the realtor said let's go over and meet at the house at 8:30 and do one final walkthrough and just make sure everything is the way we want it to be. Make sure they left everything that said they were going to leave and took anything they said that they were going to take with them. The questions I have today are those built-in bookshelves in the bedroom and in the kitchen, if they were left there. I want to know if the swing set is still there or if they took that with them. And also, we didn't really talk about it, but I want to know whether the washer and dryer were left behind. If they left the washer and dryer behind, then that's good. If not, like I said, we didn't agree that that had to happen, but that would definitely be a bonus because then I wouldn't have to go out and buy one of those. We also want to check the refrigerator. We asked for them to leave that. So let's go over to the house and do that. And then when we're done with that, we're going to run over to the title company, sign some paperwork, transfer a little bit of cash over to them, and we should be done. So let's get going on this. All right, so here we are in the house. The house is all cleaned out now. There's very little of anything in here. This place actually seems bigger now that you see it without all the furniture in here, which is very cool. I have gone through the house. It looks like they left the mounting hardware on the wall for the TV. The interesting thing is I'm probably going to put the TV over here, and I was just noticing, commenting to Richard, that obviously that's where they planned all along because that's where the cable is. So we'll put the TV on the wall over here, probably do something with the color of this room. This is probably the last room that probably needs to have anything done with it, just because I can live with the gray for a little while. Yeah. I noticed that there's a couple of drywall anchors and stuff like that I'm going to have to remove and fix, but that's not a big deal. You know, a couple of nail holes, we can patch that up really easy. I see they left all of the safety caps on the electrical outlet, so I'm not going to need any of that. But even, sometimes you got to worry when they, pull furniture out of here that, what was under the furniture, but the floors look fantastic. Even with everything out of here. So this place really is turnkey and ready to go. So notice that the refrigerator stayed, and we were wondering about that, and that's a good thing. The built-ins here on the walls, they stayed both here and in the bedroom. They took the swing set, which was kind of a good thing here. I can't film through that very well because I can't move that out of the way, but everything looks good out here. Left the bird feeder. That's a nice little thing. Yeah, they cleaned up nice. Oh, they left this clock too. That's kind of cool too. Probably needs a new battery. That's probably why it doesn't seem to be, because it's like 8:30, 8:45 in the morning, and that isn't running right now. But we'll look into that. That's not a big deal. Lights are on out here. Pool is still looking good. Let's see if they left anything in the storage shed. One of the questions we had was whether they're going to leave the storage shed. And okay, so they left a shelf, and it looks like a little of the backsplash and counter stuff in here. So that's good. I did that with my house too. Oh, some of the roofing tiles in case I needed that too. I did that with my house too. Some of I had extra the floor paneling and stuff like that, and I left that for the new owners, because if they ever have to repair it, it's not going to be something I'll ever need. Wonder if they picked up the rockets out of the pool. Nope, I don't think they did. They left the rockets in there, so I got a couple of toy rockets to play with also. All right, let's go back in and look at the house, because there were a couple of, I've actually kind of wandered through the house a little bit, and there were a couple of things that were in there that I noticed that they left behind, and that's kind of cool. Actually, I was just noticing something here. That looks like a clean out for the sink. That's actually a very handy thing from somebody who has had to deal with that before. One of the other questions I had was whether the washer and dryer were going to stay, and obviously they did not. So I was out hunting for washer and dryers yesterday, so I know what to expect for that. Like I said, I really love just all the storage in here. It's all over the place. Oh, get some caulking compound and some spray paint and some cleaning stuff. So that was nice of them to leave that. You know, look at all the add-ins and all the, you know, this stuff. This room kind of serves as a mud room. And so you got all the storage for that. You just had a few nail holes that need to be plugged. Now that I'm looking at actually some of these outlets, I might just end up replacing them all. It's not a big deal. Oops, not that one. A little dark back here. Let's see. That's that. And that's that. Huh?
Yeah, you got two.
Yeah, two there. And I'm guessing there's probably this one back here is probably a rocker for this one too. Yeah. Yeah. So that's nice. So master bedroom again. They left the built-ins, which we kind of asked that they do. And of course, this master bathroom. You know how much I love this place. And I was noticing that they actually left this photograph on the, or this painting on the wall, which is kind of nice. Still got to figure out exactly what it was that they meant to do with this fixture, because this is you know, that's how you turn on the water for the bathtub. I'll probably just replace that. That's not a big deal. Richard was also noticing that there is an air vent built into this lighting fixture, which we didn't realize before. Oh, and after all the excitement with the coronavirus stuff, they left toilet paper. So we're good to go here.
Yeah, that's a bonus there.
Yeah. And let's see, I gotta refresh my memory now where all the switches are here. But yeah, gotta really love this, all the built-ins. This is the closet in the master bedroom. You know, you really get an idea how much storage space you have in this place just by looking at it when it's empty. But even here, you can see, you know, it needs a little paint touch up. Not a big deal, just little scrapes and scratches. Nothing that won't clean up very easily. Hi, everyone. All right, let's go into the other rooms. There were a couple of things over here, little minor things I noticed that you don't always notice when you're looking at a full house. And that is, I noticed that this outlet looked like it was kind of destroyed, and so I'm going to have to replace that. But you know what? You know I'm capable of that. All the built-ins and stuff like that. And this is going to be the guest bedroom, I think. You know, just little scrapes and scratches, stuff like that that needs to be done. You know, easy to do. Like I said, a lot of these switches and stuff like that just look old. I may just end up replacing all of them. You know, it's a reasonably long job, but it's not hard to do. Bathroom looks really nice. Like I said, more storage here. Like I said, I'm still not really a fan of this kind of antiquing stuff that they did on that, but that's easy to fix. And then, of course, this is going to be the cat room. I was just looking at this, trying to figure out what that is. I think that's probably like a clean out for the toilet that's behind that, because that's the guest bedroom. Our guest bathroom is behind this wall. So actually, that's probably the bathtub clean out. So, and we went out here into the garage, and the garage looks really nice, ready to go. Let's see, I gotta keep looking for the switches here. There's the switch for that. So, as we expected, they left the shelving. They left a little of the crown molding and the baseboard stuff, which is nice. Okay, I was actually looking, I bet you this is the sprinkler heads. Yeah, that's the sprinkler system. So, Apparently there's probably 2 of those in the house, and we're gonna have to look for that. And then of course we got the breaker box in here. This is one of the things I'm gonna have to look into, because apparently it's kind of wired up in an odd manner. I was talking about this, I think, on a live stream yesterday, where like a couple of these switches power off the whole house. And so I think like each one of these is like a part of the house, and then it breaks down more specifically into individual switches. So I got to understand that a little bit better, but we'll figure that out. That's not going to be a problem. And this great storm shelter, this thing's going to be awesome. Good thing to have. That's actually just something I just noticed. A lot of times on garage doors, they'll have an automatic door or a little thing that pulls the door closed for you, just because they want it to close and secure, so you don't get like carbon monoxide fumes leaking into the house. But is this a closet? Yeah, that's just a closet. I don't think I've looked at that before. Some air filters. I'm guessing that's more of that. Oh, and a free hanger too. What more could you ask? All right, we got some wiring hanging down here. I don't know what that is, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I think this is the place. All right, so yeah, I think we can sign off on this. This thing is, I'm accepting it as is, and I think next thing we got to do now is go over and sign some paperwork.
That's right.
And do a little bit of money transfer.
That's right.
All right, so I'm back home. Everything is completed now. All we're waiting for now is for the money to be transferred. The wire has been initiated, and according to the bank, if you initiate the wire transfer before 3 p.m. on any day, it will clear on the same day. So hopefully that should be the end of it. This went really quickly. I told you we agreed that we were going to do the walkthrough at the house at 8:30 this morning. It's 9:30 now, and I'm already home. So we got the walkthrough done. We drove over to the title company. They had 3 sheets of paper they needed me to sign. We initiated the wire transfer, and it's 9:30 now, and I'm back home again. So it really is a lot easier when you deal with this with cash. So I was commenting with the realtor also, saying how easy it was, and he says, yeah, well, the cash deal makes a big deal out of it, and makes it a lot easier, and also we don't have all sorts of unnecessary hurdles to jump through dealing with California and all their kind of sometimes over the top regulations. So that's done. My realtor has sent me some information. He recommends that since the utilities are on still in the house, that it makes sense to contact the utilities immediately, tell them just to leave it on and transfer everything over to me, so that they start billing me at the house rather than the old homeowners. And other than that, so that's probably what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, is try and get all that transferred over, and hopefully by the end of the day we will have this all wrapped up. Oh, and I've already bought the first thing I'm going to buy for my house. I was over to a store yesterday just kind of wandering around looking at things, and I found this really kind of cool kinetic sculpture, and they only had one, and I was concerned that they were going to sell out before if I hesitated. So I picked it up right then and there, and that's going to go in the backyard. All right, we're done. The money went through eventually, and I've actually been over to the house a little bit now and kind of wandered around there and kind of tried to figure out how things were going to work and determine where like electrical outlets were outside and stuff like that. But there was a little bit of a wrinkle right at the end of the day. As I've told you before, I parked the money from my house sale in California in an Ally savings account, one of those online savings accounts. It had a really great interest rate, at least initially, 2.1%, and I don't know, in the last 8 or 10 months or so, it's the interest rate is steadily eroded. I guess the prime rate's been going down, so the interest rate I was getting paid was also going down. But when I went into the okay, well, originally I had planned to transfer the money from my online savings account to my regular checking account and then go that way. Well, something went wrong during the transfer and it never went through. Now, that was probably a fortunate for me, because it turns out that it's easier to wire money from the online savings account than it was from my regular checking account. So I initiated the transfer this morning at about 9:15 or so. And basically the website said if the transfer was initiated before 3 p.m. that the money would go through by the end of the day. Well, apparently they were serious about that end of the day part. You would think that, a wire transfer and an internet company and all that, it would just be, the numbers just processed through the second the request is made. But apparently not. Apparently they don't do it until the end of the day. And so I started getting the panicky telephone calls and emails from the title company saying, hey, we haven't received the wire transfer yet. Well, I'd been kind of watching the account all day, and I noticed that it wasn't going through either. And so I was getting a little concerned too. But when I finally got the call, I checked in again on the account, and at this point the money had been transferred out of the account. So that just told me that it was on the way. And I called back the title company and said, yeah, I've been watching it too, and it looks like it just transferred, so you should see it in the next in the next short period of time here. And they said, okay, well, we'll call you back if there's any more problems. I started thinking about it after I got off the phone, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to go down there, and I'm going to hang out in the front reception area there, just so that if anything does come up and they do need some help, that I'm right there to deal with it. Well, by the time I got there, the wire transfer had just been received and they were processing it. So I had to hang out for, a couple minutes while they did their end of stuff and did all their bookkeeping and stuff like that. And then I was told, okay, it's done. We've got the money. We're all processed. We're all ready to go. And so I collected a couple of keys that they had in the office there, and also another clicker for the garage door, and decided to just kind of run over to the house and just kind of, it's my house now. I can do whatever I want with it. And kind of looked at, I think the next thing I need to do now is have the locks all rekeyed. So I kind of wanted to figure out which ones I was going to rekey, and also verify that I had every key that I needed. I still don't have one, but it's a padlock that holds one of the gates closed, and worst comes to worst, if I can't get the combination for that, we'll just cut it off and put a new one on. So that's not a big deal. So I think, like I said, the task tomorrow is to get the house rekeyed, and maybe start looking a little bit at what I'm going to do to light up that garage, because I'm going to have to rewire a little bit on the lighting inside the garage to make it the appropriate workshop that I want to make. So anyway, I think that is all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.